Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and here we're going to deploy our Express Postgres API. So I have committed this to the repository. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a GitHub repository, github.com, and we're just going to call this Express PG API, so you can find this on my profile. So if you want to see, I will update this code once I get all those routes 100% up and working. So if you want to check out the final version, that's where you'll find it. I will connect this to this remote. Okay, and then I will do a git push origin master. Okay, it's not a valid repository name. Git remote add origin. What? Oh, I see. Okay, git remove or git remote remove origin. I see there was an extra character in there. Git remote rm origin, and then I will paste the command again. Enter, and then do a git push origin master. There we go. Okay, so that's pushed up there. Now I'm gonna head over to Heroku so I can deploy this. New, create a new app. Express PG API. I'm gonna go over this deploy, connect this through GitHub, and I'm gonna do Express. Search for my API. Here we go, Express PG API. Connect that repo. I'm going to enable automatic deploys. I'm going to deploy. It's not going to work right away because we have to set up the Postgres database, but this is the first step in that process. So it's detecting all the things. Build succeeded, yada yada yada. Okay, the big issue is going to be right away is that's not going to work because there's no database as far as those environmental variables go. Because again, that our env is not being pushed up to GitHub. It's always in our .gitignore. So what we need is to add a Postgres database. So I go to the resources. I'm going to look up Postgres, Heroku Postgres. So I'm going to choose the free one, hobby free. Hit submit order form. Okay, now I have a database. So now what I need to do, I'm going to open up this database in a separate window. So open link in a new tab so that we can refer to it. I'm going to my settings. I'm going to reveal config vars. See, there's the database URL, but that's not how we set up our env. Okay, so we're going to need to set up all these keys. So let's go back to our env. Make sure we set these all up right. Okay, so we need, our secret, which we can keep the same. And then we need our DB host, DB user, DB password, and database. So let's just set up those keys. DB host, DB user, database. What was it? DB password? Yep, DB password. And if we were to set up the authentication features, then we would need the secret. I'm just going to call that production. Okay. I'm going to head over into the Postgres. I'm going to go over to settings. And then I'm going to click on database credentials. I'm going to delete this database right away, so these credentials won't be useful to anybody. So DB host. I'm going to edit that, put that as the DB host. Save changes. I'm going to go here, put this as the database. Okay, then put this as the database user. Save changes. And then last, the DB password, which is right here. And there we go. So that should be all hooked up. Now the only thing still left is that we need to create that table for cats. So I need to run that you know, those two commands, seed and setup. So let me just go back and look up my commands again, package.json. So the scripts are db setup. Well, this case is going to be production, so I want to do db setup. Okay, and seed. So to run a command like that, you type in Heroku run. That allows you to run a command. Okay, and I'm going to run the command npm run db setup. So it's just going to run that make schema file to create the cats table in production, db setup, and that's going to equal, I mean, we have to tell it which app I'm doing this in. So I'm doing this in the Express PG API application. I then run that. Up run. Cool. So that finished. Then I hit Control C. Okay, there we go. So that did the thing. Then I'm going to do that again, but now I'm going to run db, just to run the word seed. To do the seed. Missing required flag. Oh, yep, took out the 2 dashes. And this should just be seed. There we go, npm run seed. That's going to run that command. Cool, yep, so there it created the cats. Good. So I hit Control C to get out of there. Cool. So now let's go open up app. Okay, internal server error. Interesting. Let me just see if I go to cat, does it take me to the list of cats? Not at the moment. So there must be something else I haven't done yet. So let's find out. Git, so that to see the logs, we type in Heroku logs tail, and I gotta specify the app. So app equals Express PG API is my app. Oh, I spelled Heroku wrong. I spelled Heroku. Heroku. Okay, so let's take a look. What's wrong? Error not allowed by cores. I gotta fix the cores. Okay. Because what happens is that once you push up to Heroku, cores kicks in. So what I want to do is for now, I'm just going to put myself back in development mode. So I'm going to go back to my config vars, and I need to change this variable, node env, and I'm going to change that back to development. Okay, if I had a front end that's going to make that's all set up, I would then put that front end in my cores whitelist. I'll show you where that is in a moment. That should fix that. But just so you know where that is. Okay, in your code, so Express PG, if you go to config, see here's cores, and then here is the whitelist. So you can put your front end URL here, and then you can put yourself in production mode, so that way only your front end can make calls to your API for security purposes. But for now, we want to stay in development mode, so I just change the node env to development. So that should fix it. So now if I refresh this, okay, that didn't quite do it. There's another solution, but let me just double check that assuming the command is taking precedence, because again I have the environmental variables in the command. So what I could, another solution, there's a couple different ways you can solve this. Okay, so I can just take the node env variable out of the script. So I'm just going to sit there and say, you know what, I'm not going to specify this in the script. I'm going to let my config vars determine what the environment is when I'm on Heroku. Okay, so I'm taking that out of the script, which I'll probably do in the template. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. And I need to push up this code, so I need the terminal. Okay, git add git commit -m update git push origin master. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Heroku, watch it rebuild. Okay, and let's refresh this. It's spinning up, so you see that it's still processing, and there we go. We got our test cats. So our API is up and running. So there you go. We created the API from the template. We set everything up. It's deployed. Not perfect. Still some things I got to work out. I'm going to tweak the template, then upload these videos so those changes will be in effect when these videos are up. I will see you guys later on.